Alrighty everybody, another new feature, not technically new because it was technically called Dragon Riding back in the day, but take to the skies with the brand new Skyriding. In the War Within, players will be able to take to the skies on many flying mounts using the new flight mechanics from Dragon Riding with Skyriding. Dragon Riding is here to stay, and they'll also be available on many flying mounts in all flyable areas, even prior to the launch of the War Within, which is the pre-patches, which is where we are now. Players will also be able to toggle between Skyriding, which is previously known as Dynamic Flight or Dragon Riding, or the flying style introduced originally in the Burning Crusade, which is called Steady Flight. Skyriding will be available from the start in Kaz-Algar, and players will be able to unlock Steady Flight at maximum level by exploring the zones within the War Within and completing the campaign. So, you get Skyriding, but Steady Flight, you gotta unlock. Players will also be able to collect glyphs throughout Kaz-Algar as they explore. These glyphs will be shifting to an evergreen state in which players shouldn't feel as if they need to go back to the Dragonflight to gain any that you have missed before. Some abilities that players have collected from their adventures in the Dragon Isles may be restricted to the Dragon Isles, but all full base abilities like increased vigor will become part of how Skyriding works and available to everyone as they level up. You'll also be able to easily identify mounts that are enabled for Skyriding from the War Within as Warbands Collections tab, which I'll be going over in just a second, which will be noted as Skyriding. To switch between Skyriding and Steady Flight, you'll have to directly in the mount collection by clicking in the Skyriding icon in the middle of the interface and selecting Switch Flight Style in the drop-down menu. It's important to note that any mount that doesn't support Skyriding will be grounded if Skyriding is active. You'll also be able to open your skills, unlock here as well. The ground mounts in your collection will continue to stay grounded, but most flying mounts will be able to put their use for Skyriding, save for a select few, such as the otherworldly Otuk carrier, some fish mounts, and some brooms, but pretty much all mounts are now Skyriding toggled mounts. So let's go ahead and open up our mounts tab. I have my favorited mounts still. I'm gonna have to go through all of this crap again and sort it out and make sure everything is as organized as possible, but I have a lot of mounts. I have a total of 496. You can still filter your mounts, which is pretty much the same. We do now have typings, I believe that wasn't a thing before. So for example, let's say there's a specific ground mount. This one doesn't fly. I'm very positive. So yes, ground mounts are still ground mounts. You're not going to be able to get them to fly. However, we have toggled right now Skyriding. We have that toggled, so that means if I was to remount to something that is a flying mount, I should get my Vigor bar here. I should get my Skyriding abilities, and I should be able to use these Skyriding abilities on this mount. Almost every mount has now access to this brand new Skyriding feature, just to give you a heads up. So it's very difficult to find one that doesn't have access to it. However, to switch to flight style, to switch from Skyriding to steady flying, you sadly have a 5-second freaking cast timer. I don't know why. It should just be a click it and you're good to go. But we are now back to steady flight. I don't understand why there's a 5-second cast time, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. That's just how it works. And of course, you also have your skills and unlocks, which are here at the moment. I have to go ahead and sort out and fix some of these, but hey, everything is as pretty much the same as what it was before with the Dragon Isles, with just a few changes here and there. But pretty much everything is going to be universal, and everything is going to be default going into the War Within.